Call standby for the surf rescue north of stairwell 1. Report of one swimmer in distress.
Good morning, San Francisco. I am Lieutenant Jonathan Baxter, San Francisco Fire Department. Today, we are all gathered here to commemorate the kickoff of summer 2021. Today, you're going to hear from many agency representatives who are going to provide you with essential safety material to keep you, your family, your loved ones, and your pets safe.
Here are the top 10 tips from our park rangers to plan your next visit this Memorial Day weekend. All of us here behind me and with me today want you to get back home safely after a fun weekend. It's our #1 priority. Number 2, be patient and flexible. The North Coast is a big place with a major city. Roads and parking lots are going to be jam-packed. Plan extra time and extra patience. Number 3, if you see something, say something. You can help others by reporting unsafe situations to first responders. Number 4, stay on trails and shores. Rip currents, rock scrambling, and walking off trail can be dangerous. Help us help you. Number 5, swimming is strongly discouraged behind us at Ocean Beach due to the dangerous rip currents and cold temperatures. Even shallow water can be dangerous. Number 6, take safe selfies. Watch your picture and your back. Number 7, be an early or late bird. Avoid crowds and traffic and visit non-peak hours. Number 8, warning signs like the ones behind me posted at the entrances to our beaches are there to help you make safe decisions on the coast. Number 9, appreciate the urban landscape. Use your best judgment with personal belongings. Avoid leaving valuables in unattended vehicles. And number 10, recreate responsibly. The health and safety of people visiting and working in the parks and coastal areas are our #1 priority.
Ocean safety starts at home. Know the conditions that you will encounter when you go out. Area media outlets and the National Weather Service are great resources for planning your next visit. Not only will the weather tell you what kind of clothes to wear, they also post warnings such as when rip currents and dangerously high surf and waves will be expected. Of the 613 deaths that have occurred in the maritime domain in the last year nationally, 79% of those boating deaths were drownings. 86% of those victims were not wearing their life jacket, and 2/3 of the drowning victims were described by their loved ones and friends as being strong swimmers. At the beach and along the shoreline, keep an eye on your loved ones and your friends. Never, ever turn your back on the ocean, and be a good neighbor and tactfully remind others of this safety. Speaking of keeping your eye on the ocean, if you see someone who's in trouble and you should call 911 or call the Coast Guard directly, please remain at the scene. Keep your eyes locked on that person that you're reporting to be in distress until rescuers can arrive. You will literally take the search out of search and rescue, and we'll be able to effect that rescue very quickly with first responders. When you are going out in the water on a boat, make a plan. Leave that plan with someone at home. Leave also a description of what your boat looks like with those people ashore. Have all the safety equipment that you're required to have. Most importantly, wear an approved life jacket. A very bright international orange life jacket with retroreflective tape and some type of sound signaling device and maybe a light source would make it a lot easier to find you in the water. This water is very cold, 50 degrees this morning. And regardless of how good of a swimmer you are, cold water shock can set in a matter of minutes and you can lose your ability to swim. To put it simply, life jackets float. Folks who go out in the water and rely on cell phones. Cell phones are fantastic on land, but not as effective when you're in the maritime environment. So please have a radio with you. It's a very effective and proven way to reach for help. Since April 1st of this year, federal regulations require that all mariners to have a kill switch on their vessel. For motorized boats that are with 3 or more horsepower and less than 26 feet in length, and this regulation will be enforced this year.
The water is cold. And if you didn't get that at home, the water is cold. So we're talking water temperatures in the low 50s just out here. So if you're not prepared to be in cold water, don't even think about going in the water here. Live to see another day. So if you end up in the water, typically you end up in the water as an unintentional swimmer in areas like this, which means you're fully clothed. The water temperature will drain your body heat very fast, and you will go into what's called cold water paralysis. And if you think you're a good swimmer, forget it. You're no contest for the cold water because it'll seize up all your muscles. You won't even have a chance to go hypothermic. Unfortunately, it's more of a rescue mission from drowning as opposed to a recovery mission. There are also rip currents and longshore currents. We hear about rip currents going straight out from the beach, and you hear swim parallel to the coast. What you might see today is longshore currents as well, where you'll go out into the water, you'll get sucked out into the water, and then get sucked down the beach. And it can happen in the matter of moments. You can be a half mile to a mile down the beach in tens of minutes. It's pretty quick. It's pretty rapid currents. The other threat here, of course, is very turbulent surf. So you'll see behind me, there's white water out there. That is not fluffy, friendly white water. It's actually very turbulent, and it can churn you and roll you and get you disoriented to the point where it might be hard to come to the surface to get your breath.
If or when you have to call 911. And I'll start off by talking about TV and movies have kind of taught us this myth that's wrong, that all you need to do is call 911 and click hang up. And instead, when you call 911, the dispatcher is going to ask you a series of questions and then give you a set of instructions. And the very first, most important question we're going to ask is, what is the exact location of the emergency? Because oftentimes we don't know exactly where you are. Knowing the exact location helps us locate and where to send help. After that, keep an eye on the victim. The current's going to take the victim in a different direction, or better yet, assign a friend or somebody else to keep an eye on the victim and don't lose sight of them. Don't enter the water and don't try to rescue them yourself. If you're able to safely throw a floating object at them, do so, and remain on the line and follow all of the instructions the dispatcher will ask. We'll start by asking what the victim looks like, including a clothing description, the number of victims, and what direction they're being taken. If you stay on the line, we will get you help. And the last thing I'd like to mention is flag down the first responders when we get there and point out which direction we're looking for.
We are going to show you what it takes to rescue an individual from the water. We have our partners from the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department 10 Henry 1 rescue helicopter en route. They'll be coming from the north here any minute, and they're going to show you what it takes to effect that rescue. The helicopter is going to simulate that we have very high, strong rip currents and surf conditions so that we can't really effectively or safely get our rescue workers and our victim back to shore safely. The helicopter is going to come to a hot connect where they're going to land, they're going to hook up their rescue rope, they're going to lift back up, and they're actually going to basically, in layman's terms, pluck the rescuers and victim out of the water and onto the shore.
What conscious